Hi students, I welcome all of you once again to the third part of lesson number 11, work and energy. So let's recall once again whatever so far we have learnt in this chapter. So students, in this chapter we spoke about the different types of the forces, okay, and in the last lecture we spoke about how exactly we apply the force and that force get transferred to the other object. So as you see here in this image, the boy is trying to apply a force on a toy. So what is happening over here? A toy is moving in forward direction. So that means work has been done. Whenever there is a displacement, so in that case we say that the work has been done. So we can say that a work has been done because the force applied to the car has caused the displacement. So in this picture, a boy has applied a force to the toy and work has been done just because of the force which is applied on a toy. And again students, as you can see that over here, in other word, transformation of the boy's energy into a work has taken place through the applied force. So the boy is applying a force, and because of the force, the boy is trying to apply his force onto a toy, and that's why a toy is moving in the forward direction and it has caused a displacement. So one more thing I asked you in the last lecture, that when you run around the ground along with your friends, so can your friends run as many as rounds as you can? So the answer to this question was no. Not everybody will complete the same round. Maybe your friends might complete the more round or less round as compared to you. So that means you can complete only as many round you have the capacity for. Everybody has got the different capacity for the completion of the round. So here in this case, the capacity of a body to do a work. The capacity of the body to do a work, it is called as what? Energy. So what do you exactly mean by the energy? The capacity of the body to do a work is called as what? Energy. Understood the definition of the energy? So students, let me tell you that over here, the units for work and energy both are same. They both are, as you can see that over here, work and energy are both are measured in the name of the unit called as what? Joule. So the joule is the unit to measure the work and the energy. So joule is the SI unit. So the full form of the SI unit is the System International Unit. Understood student? So once again I remind you here, the units of work and the energy both are same, and they both are measured in a unit called as joule, which is the SI unit. Okay, so now students, let's see here, there are different forms of the energy which are present around us. So all the forms of the energy which we are going to learn today one by one. So what are the different forms of the energy which occurs around us? Let's see that over here one by one. So as you can see that over here students, the mechanical energy, heat energy, the light energy, sound energy, and the last one is the chemical energy. So these are the 5 types of the energy which are present around us. So which are the 5 types of the energy which are present around us? Here you can see that mechanical energy, heat energy, light energy, sound energy, and the chemical energy. So all these 5 types of the energy are present around us. Understood? So students, today we are going to learn about the mechanical energy and the types of the mechanical energy one by one. Okay. So before that, have a look at this picture. So what is the action is taking place in this picture? What this boy is trying to do? A boy is trying to stretch a rubber band. Okay, so here in this picture, now my next question is that students, over here, the rubber band is released after stretching it. Right? So as you can see that here in this case, a boy is trying to stretch a rubber band. Okay, and after stretching the rubber band has been released. So what is the changes you see here in this picture? Initially, the rubber band, it was in the stretch format, and now the stretch has been released, the force has been released. Now what are the changes you can see here in this image? Yes, you can see that the rubber band, it came to its original shape and the size, right? And again, here in this case, what you can see here in this case, students? So here in this case, a stone is held in the rubber of the catapult. So here you can see that the rubber is stretched and it is released. So what this boy is doing? A boy is stretching a rubber band of the catapult, and he is trying to stretch the rubber band of the catapult and he is trying to release it. And what is there in the catapult? A stone is there. So now can you tell me that what will happen as a result of this action? This catapult will go in the forward direction, or the stone which is present in this, it will go in the forward direction. Who will go in the forward direction? A stone will be thrown out in the forward direction. Are you getting my point over here? So students, in the given example, we see that the rubber of a catapult is stretched and it is released. It comes back to the original state and the stone flies off. As I told you that also, a stone will fly off. A stone will fly off, and the shape of the rubber band, it will come to its original state. So this was the change which we have seen just now in the case of the rubber band. Okay. So students, similarly, there are so many examples which we found around us. So one of the example, as you can see that over here, when the spring of a toy is wound and then it is released, the toy state starts playing. There are so many toys which are present, right? So whenever we try to wound the spring of that toy, the toy will be moving motion. So that means when we try to wound the spring of that toy, there will be certain type of the energy which will be stored in that. As soon as you release the pressure, the energy will be released, and as a result, a toy will start playing automatically, right? So students, similarly, there is one more example over here. When a water stored at a height, it is made to fall on a wheel, and as a result, because of the pressure of the water, a wheel starts rotating at the higher and the higher speed. So that means here in this example, there is certain type of the energy which is used. So what is that certain type of the energy which is used in this case? That we are going to learn here one by one. So what do you feel? What type of the energy will be here? There is certain type of the energy which is stored in the rubber band. There is certain type of the energy which is stored in the spring toy. And again there is certain type of the energy which is stored at a height of water. And because of that energy, when the water is falling down, that water is applying a force on the wheel, and that wheel is rotating at the higher speed. Okay. So similarly student, here in this case, as you can see that over here, in each of these action, displacement has been taken place. So water is falling down and the wheel is rotating, displacement has occurred. A toy is moving, the displacement has occurred. That means original state has been changed. So in each of this example, the displacement has taken place, which means that the work has been done. So when we say that the work has been done, whenever there is a displacement. So students, this type of the energy, it is called, here you can see that from where is the energy obtained to do this work we get. So I told you that I was asking you that there is certain type of the energy which is stored in the toy. There is certain type of the energy which is stored in the falling water. And again at the same time the energy was stored in the stretching of the rubber band and the catapult also. So from where this all the energy get? So to answer to this question students over here, this type of the energy, it is called as potential energy. So what do you mean by the potential energy? The energy which is stored in an object due to a specific state or motion of that object, it is called as potential energy. So what do you mean by the potential energy? Tell me once again. Whenever the energy which is stored in an object because of specific state or the position of that object. So because of the position, whenever that object gains the energy, then it is called as what? Potential energy. Because of the potential energy, the rubber band came to its original shape and the size. Because of the potential energy, a toy started playing when we wound the spring of it. And because of the potential energy, a water has been stored at a height. So water which is stored at a height, the energy which is stored in the wounded spring, and the energy which is in the rubber band, stretched rubber band. So in that object, it is because of the position of the object. So this is called as what? Potential energy. Understood? So students, now here one more type of the energy we are going to learn. So for that thing, we have to do one certain experiment. So here in this case, what you have to do, you have to take two balls. Okay. Let one of them stand stable at the center of the table. So you have to take two balls. One ball will be stable and the other will be in the moving. But before that, let's put the two of them in a stable position like I have shown you here in this, like this. So in this case, the red ball, it is stable and the yellow, we have to push it. Okay. So before that, what we are going to do, we have placed the two ball at a distance. Okay. So like this, you have to put a two ball on a table. Then place the second ball on the table and push it so that it hits the first ball. So we have kept the red ball stable and we are trying to push the yellow ball towards the red ball. So now what will happen, students, here in this case? So when the yellow ball, it will go toward the red ball. So automatically the red ball which is stable at its position, it will also move from its original place. It will also move in the forward direction. Am I right? So students, my question is that over here, what happens when the second ball hits the first one? When the second ball hits the first one, as I told you, the yellow ball will hit the red one. So when yellow ball will hit the red one, it will be displaced from its position. It has changed its position. Am I right? So why has been this occurred? Any questions over here? Why it has been occurred? From where did the second ball get the energy to set the first ball into the motion? Why did the second ball move here? May I know what type of the energy this red ball received from the yellow ball, and because of that this red ball went into the motion? Any guesses which type of the energy is involved in this type of the part? And one more thing, students, not only this type of the example, you must be playing the game of the marble at your home also. Am I right? So when you play a game of marble at your home also, you must have seen that from where does one marble gets the energy to set the other marble in the motion. So in the game of marble, when we play the game of marble like this, we set the all the marble into a place. They are in the stable place, and what we are trying to do, we are trying to throw one marble at other, right? So where this first marble gets the energy, and because of this first marble, all the marble, they are set into the motion, right? So from where these marbles gets the energy? And likewise, students, you must have seen that we give energy to the marble and set them into the motion. So who are giving marble the energy? We. So like this, here in this image also, as you can see that we are giving energy to the marble. So this marble is trying to apply its energy on the another marble. So that means, can I say that over here, we give energy to the marble and set them in the motion. So students, this type of the energy, it is called as kinetic energy. What we call it as? Kinetic energy. So what do you mean by the kinetic energy? The energy obtained from the motion. I repeat once again. The energy obtained from the motion it is called as kinetic energy. So what do you mean by the kinetic energy? The energy which is obtained from the motion, it is called as what? Kinetic energy. So students, here we have seen so many examples like kinetic energy and the potential energy. So all of them come under the category which is called as what? Mechanical energy. So the energy used for doing the mechanical work. The energy used for doing the mechanical work, it is called as mechanical energy. So like at our home, we use a mixer grinder. At our home, we use a swing machine, mixer grinder. Then there are iron. There are so many examples which we are using. There are so many machines which we are using. So all the machine, they are using certain type of the energy. So whatever energy it is set by the machine, it is called as what? Mechanical energy. So what do you mean by the mechanical energy, students, over here? The energy used for doing the mechanical work, it is called as what? Mechanical energy. So students, there are two types of the mechanical energy. That is potential energy and the kinetic energy. So potential energy and the kinetic energy, these are the two types of the mechanical energy. So potential energy and mechanical energy, what is the difference between them basically? So as you can see that over here, student, potential energy is obtained due to its position. So in any position, if the energy has been stored, then it is called as what? Potential energy. And what do you mean by the kinetic energy? If any type of the energy, if it is set into the motion, then this is called as what? Kinetic energy. So students, did you understand whatever we have learned today so far? So student, today we spoke about the kinetic energy, and today again we spoke about the potential energy and the kinetic energy and the mechanical energy. So I hope so students, whatever we have learned today, you must have understood that. So the next part of this topic we will continue in the next session. Bye bye, take care.